Adolescence is a transition stage from childhood to adulthood. As much as this is a transition phase, it is not just an ordinary transition phase because the changes, the development, and the coping mechanisms in adolescence is what is needed to have a well-adjusted adult later in life. So this is a transition phase where whatever happens in adolescence determines the outcome of an adult later in life. Adolescence is divided into three main stages. So we have early adolescence, mid-adolescence, and late adolescence. Preteens are usually found within the ages of 8 to 12. So that comprises early adolescence. Then we have mid-adolescence where we have the teenagers proper. So we have 13 to 17 years old. And then late adolescence, we have 18 to 21 where the young adults are found. Now, each of the stages of adolescence has its beauty and has its own challenge. But the major challenge with adolescence is that preteens, teenagers, and young adults sometimes do not understand what they are going through. Some of the aspects of adolescent life where there are changes and then there's development and growth are, for example, 1, physical changes or the physical aspects of adolescence. Hormones are messengers in the body that carry information from the brain, for example, to certain organs to tell them what to do at certain times. So for physical changes that start at puberty, we have reactions in the body that bring about certain physical changes. For example, in girls, we have really the development of breast, we have the whitening of hips, and then we have growth that is different from that of the pre-teenage age. In boys, we have croaky voice as a result of the deepening of the voice. We have really increased height in boys and some other changes that we will talk about subsequently. So some of these physical changes can come at a certain time where these people may not have an idea of what it is like, and then they may consent to asking their peers when they do not have the right information on what to do and how to navigate this phase. So it is important that they have the right information in this phase to help them navigate it and come out as well-adjusted teenagers or young adults. Physical changes can also bring out comparison amongst adolescents where we see situations where there is a standard to belonging in certain groups. For example, in BB's case, there's a standard to joining certain sporting activities that some may not be able to join because they do not meet the required height. Little distinctions like this in adolescence can bring about emotional changes that these ones may not know about and may not be able to handle. So, for example, hormones also bring about emotional changes in the body. Emotional changes also can result from the reactions of hormones in the body. Now, teenagers or preteens, teenagers and young adults who do not understand these reactions can consent to the regular mood swings or irregular mood swings that come. And then these mood swings can result in behavioral changes where they do not know how to manage how they feel at that point. So information is very important in adolescence to be able to help them navigate this phase. It is important for adolescents to come out as well-adjusted individuals so they can balance out each of these areas, that is physical, emotional, social, and mental, without sanctions in the society. Because a young adult that has gone through the pre-teenage stage, the teenage stage, and is now transitioning into adulthood and cannot manage these areas may not fit into what the society sees as a stable adult. And then teenagers or young adults start to struggle, or these adults later in life start to struggle in these different aspects. And most of currently research has shown that 75% of mental illnesses that come up later in life in adulthood can be traced to early stages of adolescence and mid stages of adolescence. So the education that young people need, especially preteens, teenagers, and young adults, is really important. They really need to be educated about what adolescence is all about, the changes that come with adolescence, and the coping mechanisms that they would need to navigate this phase, so we can all have a happy and a chirpy society. The discourse on adolescence cannot be exhausted. But then this is the end of this episode. If you have questions, suggestions, or whatever you'd like me to talk about in subsequent episode, you can reach out to us on any of the social media handles showing on the screen currently. We'll be glad to hear from you. I remain Auntie M, and this is Young Adults and Teen Support Initiative, YATSI, where we learn how to navigate adolescence with purpose and positivity. Thank you. Thank you.